Our project is titled the Interactive Kea Game, and we will begin by introducing ourselves. We have 2 computer science majors in our group. Myself and Meyer, I'll be working mainly on software programming and project management to ensure that we're on track. Jake Sebald will also be working on software programming and collecting data about the Kea. Joe Lianza is a computer engineer who will be focusing on designing and building the hardware as well as implementing a reward system. Finally, Zach Allison is an electrical engineer who is also working with the hardware and installing the system at the zoo, as well as training the Kea to interact with the games. Our advisor is Dieter Vanderlest, and our zoo contact is Catherine Califoot. For our abstract, the Interactive Kea Project intends to create a system that allows the Cincinnati Zoo guests to interact with the Kea birds by playing a game together. The Kea are intelligent birds capable of continuously learning new activities. The project will reward the Kea for their efforts while simultaneously collecting data for research. The data gathered will allow the Cincinnati zookeepers to learn potentially new things regarding the Kea. The system will need to be safe to interact with for both the guests of all ages and for the Kea. The system itself will consist of 1 monitor for the guest and 1 for the birds, allowing them to interact at the same time.
About our project. Our project is focused on interacting with the Kea, which is a very intelligent bird native to New Zealand. The purpose of this project is to provide research to the Cincinnati Zoo by creating a game for the guest and Kea to interact with each other. Our goal is to design and build a game system that the Kea can learn to participate with the zoo guest and allow us to capture data about the Kea. Timeline of milestones. Our milestones involve designing and building a wired prototype during the fall semester that we can test at the zoo with the birds. This also includes programming a game client. We would also like to begin to work on a wireless prototype, as it would be safer for the birds. Early next semester, we will be implementing a wireless prototype with any issues worked out and installing the game at the zoo to teach the Kea to interact with it. Finally, we will create our demo and final presentation.
Project description, user stories. As a zookeeper, I need a device to entertain Kea birds and to test its intellectual ability so that I can collect data on them. Also, I need a way for the birds to be rewarded for playing with the device so that they can be trained on the device. As a Cincinnati Zoo guest, I need a way to interact with the Kea birds so that I can see their intellectual ability. And as a Cincinnati Zoo, I need the device to be safe for Kea birds so they do not destroy it and/or get hurt by the device. Project description constraints. The constraints of our project include working closely alongside specialized expertise such as our zoo contact. We will also be focused on ensuring the system itself is safe for the birds to utilize. The system will be outside and must be waterproof. The zoo staff want to be able to change the difficulty, games, and replace the parts without expert help. Finally, the system must be able to set up and take down easily so it can be stored when the birds are out or not.
So for our progress thus far on the project, our progress makes to meeting with zoo staff and touring the Cincinnati Zoo, where we could see the birds in person and learn what they are capable of doing. We've established how we will display a series of games such as Pong or Tic-Tac-Toe so that the birds can learn the simple rules to it and to it on the monitors and have the games approved by the zoo contact. Finally, we've created a prototype for the system. We are hoping to purchase all of our hardware, construct the prototype, and train the Kea at least using the system during this term. That will allow us to identify and correct any issues that we've encountered so far. So, considering making a demo for the project, we are hoping to create a video of the birds interacting with the system at the zoo and receiving an award for participating with the system. We will display this video to show it effectively working with the Kea. We will also bring a monitor with our game client so that users can use it and play the games against each other at the Cincinnati Zoo with the Kea birds. We hope this will encourage users to visit the game at the zoo and interact with the Kea birds.